good, fam? Welcome back to Unlockable Character. We are going to the car wash. It is so hazy and dirty outside. I swear the car gets extremely dirty in like a day, and when you got a frozen black paint, you can definitely pick up the dust and you can see it on the car. We almost have like a layer of yellow hazy dust around the city right now, so let's go get that cleaned off. Open the valves real quick, put it into rear wheel drive. Didn't put it in yet. There we go. 2 presses of the M2 button. It's a beautiful day, 83 degrees. This is always fun here too. Let's have a little fun. Sounded excellent. Sometimes, guys, I lightly brake and then upshift, which is just slowing the car down, stabilizing the car, and I did that there. Those shifts are instantaneous, guys. The ZF 8-speed with XHP is literally almost as fast as a dual clutch transmission on the upshifts. It's just insane. Now, the dual clutch transmissions like the PDK, for example, will always be faster on the downshift. This is 4th to 3rd. Still plenty fast with the ZF, with XHP. But a stock PDK would be faster than that on the downshift. Got an M4 convertible, that looks great. Also, guys, I love the F-150 when it has the American decals on the back. I think it looks sick. Those are the hero trucks, which are like emergency response vehicles. They're not police officers, but they're almost like paramedics. I don't know if they have to get EMT training, but those guys help out people who get, you know, broken down on the side of the road. Really is a beautiful day. Let's have some fun. Rev limiter in this car sounds so good. In 3rd gear, when you downshift and then you hit it, oh! Let's see. Oh, it's just butter. And those 5,000 RPM shifts to 5th and then 6th gear are also butter. shift at like 5,000 RPM, it creates such a nice deep tone. It's honestly gorgeous. Listening out there to, you know, Music Monday, I'm telling you, this guy from Atlanta, let me pull it up, it's in my recently added. All right, Laser Dim 700, all right? This man uploads like every business day on YouTube, so he's consistent and he puts out a lot of music, and he's dope. Like, I'm not gonna lie, his flow is insane, his beat selection is crazy. It's not the most lyrical raps, but I'm telling you, he's on that. Laser Dim 700, definitely check him out. I'm gonna put him on the Music Monday playlist today. This is my favorite song by him all time. Absolutely sick. That's pretty cool, got the bike in the back. Didn't realize. Sometimes the car is just so fast, guys. The catching up speed is crazy. That was in rear wheel drive. I'll show you the difference now in immediate traction. All wheel drive is like, it's honestly like an electric car. The amount of torque that gets delivered immediately with immediate traction, I honestly think the only thing that comes close to that is being in an electric car, and like a high performance electric car. Fourth to fifth, if you don't keep on the throttle, it is such whiplash because the XHP tune acts like a slingshot. Again, my all-wheel drive settings in M1 is 4-wheel drive sport. Everything Sport Plus except suspension and steering. Actually, suspension and steering Sport Plus too. When I'm in rear wheel drive, which is my M2, that's when suspension and steering are in comfort settings. So all wheel drive, you will notice that the car is going to be bouncing a lot. Insane. They're building a whole nother exit here. That's insane. Look at how much just land development they have to do. That's crazy. Is insane. Absolutely nuts. Can't wait for another track day, guys. Gonna see if we can hit up AMP at the end of October. I'm not sure what that truck is. Got a weird like sensor thing on it. Guys, I want to make something known about, you know, natural disasters in this country. If you remember Hurricane Katrina, which was a long time ago now, you know, it seemed like the government, and remember it was a Republican government under George W. Bush, didn't care because FEMA didn't show up to New Orleans and the response just wasn't as good as it should have been, right? So Kanye West famously went on TV and said, you know, George W. Bush doesn't care about black people. But the truth of the matter is, when you look at Hurricane Katrina and how the government responded and how it disproportionately affected black people, and you look at Hurricane Helena and how I think it disproportionately affected rural white people, it's very much the same, you know, two sides of the same coin, where the government is not doing enough to help rural white people, just like they didn't do enough to help poor black people in New Orleans. But the truth of the matter is, you're on your own, guys. You live 40 miles away from civilization in rural, you know, Appalachia, or you depend on government handouts and you didn't evacuate a city. It's on you, you know what I mean, to figure that shit out. And the more quickly people realize that, the less they're going to be able to be persuaded by things like Fox News saying that, oh, it's a government, you know, disaster in terms of the response. Fox News wasn't saying that about Hurricane Katrina. They're doing that for Hurricane Helena for a specific reason, you know what I mean? They're just playing their card. And so stop listening to all the political babble and just see through it. That's what I would tell you. You're on your own in this country, you know what I mean? You have to acquire capital. You have to learn how the game works. It's really funny when you look at someone who is an ultra-capitalist, which means billionaire, probably a founder, like a technology founder, someone who has, you know, a lot of influence in politics and even the court system. Look at Peter Thiel, okay? He took a publication and basically sued it into oblivion. So there's an entertainment media company called Gawker, and they basically outed Peter Thiel as being gay. And so in revenge, he went to such lengths in terms of the legal system and his influence in using money that Gawker went out of business, and the founder of Gawker, he went bankrupt. And that's the system we live in, guys. We have ultra-capitalistic billionaires who will do whatever they want. This dude is retarded. White Impala in the right lane. Absolutely no reason. But that's the system we live in, guys. You better wake up, you know what I mean? Like, just think about it. Your perception of American reality is probably a very small and narrow one, unless you've had a lot of experiences and you've read a lot about history. and you can actually, you know, speak to people, see through their eyes, see through their, you know, step through their shoes, live through their experiences. If you don't have the capability to do that, and you have a certain perception of America, I'm telling you right now, it's a very small and narrow one, and you don't know how this country actually works. But when you do start to realize how the country works, the real challenge is not to get depressed. It's to actually figure out how to help people see the same thing that you're seeing and do better, you know, make changes for the better. I find it really funny when you get up to that ultra capitalistic billionaire class that all kinds of funny things happen. For example, Peter Thiel was married, but he was having an extramarital affair with a very young gay dude. And this, of course, the dude was gay, but what I mean is, Peter Thiel, I think, is involved in a lot of nefarious things. And when you get to that ultra-capitalistic, you know, billionaire class, they really are involved in all kinds of shady kinds of shit. So Peter Thiel throws a big party at his Miami compound. It's like 2 massive mansions next to each other. And, you know, his lover shows up, and his husband is there too. And the lover gets publicly kicked out, you know, in a very embarrassing situation. And a few days later, Peter Thiel's lover, you know, apparently jumped from the balcony of his Miami high-rise apartment in a suicide. I mean, you can't write this shit up, you know what I mean? And the funny thing is, when you look at that kind of world, that secret world, it's so funny. Peter Thiel took a lover who was extremely liberal and left-wing and complained about the hypocrisy of Peter Thiel being a right-wing Republican supporter while being an openly gay man. And it's that kind of dramatics and just power with money and influence that happens at that level. It's like, let me tell you something right now. If you are going to get involved at a young age with someone who's very wealthy, very powerful, and you don't believe the things that they believe in, don't get involved with them. You're just using yourself. And for everyone else out there, just realize that there is an ultra-capitalistic billionaire class who are basically techno-neo-feudal lords, okay? That they rule over us. They have enough money to control the court systems, to control and influence power in this country. And the fact that people don't realize that is astonishing. And people live through very narrow experiences of what they consider American life without realizing all of these things. All right, another thing that I would really like to say, guys, is consider, you know, that people spend a lot of money every weekend to go to the club and dance. Some of them don't dance. And some of them spend the money just to maybe go see if they can pick someone up, you know what I mean? Like, find a girl, find a guy kind of thing. But for those who go there and like to enjoy their time and dance, isn't it funny that in society you work 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, and then you spend a lot of money on the weekend to drink alcohol and dance to get out of your inhibitions? Like, that should tell you something a little bit about society as a whole. So what I'm trying to say is, just remember you can always dance. You don't need to spend money and go clubbing to dance. And in your daily, you know, routines and stuff, remember to dance. Remember to have fun. You don't have to live the same version of your day every day and feel like it's a prison. It's not. That's the whole trick. That's the whole, you know, like, thing. It's that we don't live in a prison. We put ourselves in a prison, and it's a mental prison. And so the more you dance, the more you foster that joy, that childlike, you know, exhilaration, and the ability to be zealous about something, to enjoy it, to really be excited about it. Introduce that into your normal daily routines, and your life becomes a whole different life, you know what I mean? Just remembering to dance and telling yourself that You don't have to dance to society's rhythm. Society's rhythm is you working as hard as possible Monday through Friday away from your family, and then spending a lot of money on the weekend to get inebriated on toxic substances like alcohol, and then dance. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna cap it there. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. That was a fun POV drive. A lot of wisdom today. I'm gonna update the music playlist, of course, on Spotify. So I hope you guys have a great start to your week. Let's go, fam.